Yeah, I think that's an awesome thing to do. Let's finish the survey, and then if Escar is ready, and he's probably listening, but he's in the street, so I'm going to give him a few moments to get himself together. Escar Guarin, Dr. Guarin, is a vasectomy doctor. He's from Colombia, but he's based in Iowa, and he is without a doubt the most passionate doctor in our group. He is amazing. He purchased a mobile vasectomy clinic. It's the first one in the United States. He's driven it from Iowa through, I don't know, 8 or 9 or 10 states. He's been doing vasectomies along the road in the van. He's actually met with organizations, had meetings at Planned Parenthood, stopped at university, taught, went to a football game, and you'll see the trailer. He'll give us a little tour now of the trailer. So Escar, if you are available and can jump in while people are answering the survey, if you've done it already, that's great. But we'd love to see your baby out on the streets of New York.
All right. Can you see me? Can you hear me?
We don't see you yet. Yes, now we see you.
All right, hold on a second. Let me figure this out real quick. And oh, that's fine.
We're good. It's
all right,
good.
so we're gonna turn the camera.
Okay.
All right, perfect. So let's go. Let's come out of here. We're in New York City, next to Union Square. So we wanted to show you how the unit looks from the outside. So this is the crew, but that's the mobile vasectomy clinic. Let's go around here. So it's a 24-foot vehicle that will go in the inside. But this is what we have here. It's a unit, it's basically an office on wheels where we can do vasectomies. So let's go in the inside and I'm going to show you. Let's just go around. So the mobile unit doesn't come with a food truck. So it's just a mobile unit. So we do vasectomies there. We don't do any hot dogs in there. Now I think this is New York for you guys. So what we set up here is a virtual reality stand where people can have virtual vasectomies. And that is just to promote the vasectomies here in New York City. Let me show you from the inside real quick. I know we have very little time. When you come in here, what you're going to see is an area, kind of a waiting area. It's a very comfortable area where the patient comes in, and if he comes with his partner, she can wait here. And then this is where we do the procedure. This is the procedure room. And we have everything we need. We have an examination, full examination table. We have a water available. We have a sink with a water heater. We can do everything we need in here. This is nothing but a testament to the mobility of vasectomies. This is one of the reasons why we need to continue to do this everywhere, because vasectomies have the mobility that would allow the participation of men, a bigger, more active participation of men. You can do this with a tubal ligation. I mean, I guess you can, but it's not ideal. You can do it, as we've seen in many countries where tubal ligations are done under local anesthesia, but that's not ideal, and that's not a way for men to participate. Continue to drop a lot of the burden of contraception on women. So an initiative like this one has proven to be successful in other countries. We've done it with World Vasectomy Day in Indonesia. We did it in Mexico, thanks to the support of the Secretary of Health in Mexico. We've seen it in the literature being successful in Nepal. When you use mobile units, the participation in reproductive initiatives by the community, by the population is bigger, is higher. Certainly in the United States, we wouldn't do this to reach out faraway communities, because we can find vasectomy surgeons or surgeons who can do vasectomies in many places. But the
the purpose of having it in the US is so that we can talk more about it, and we can make it more visible for people, more visible for men. Because here the goal, and this is a personal goal of mine, and I think we share it with many of us who are within World Vasectomy Day, is that we need to close that gap in terms of participation of men compared to what happens with women. In the United States, for every vasectomy that gets done, there are 2 or 3 tubal ligations done. And that might not seem too much, but there are many countries, like in South America and countries in Africa, and sub-Saharan Africa particularly, where the gap is huge. Ecuador, for example, has a gap that is abysmal. For every vasectomy done, there are 30 tubal ligations. And that is not fair. So initiatives like this one, driving around a vehicle full of sperm all over the place on the outside, telling people that a vasectomy is so mobile and is so easy and simple to do, would increase the visibility of the procedure and would stimulate the participation of men, because we need men to be more active participants in reproduction.
Excellent. Thank you, Esker. I just wanted to say that Esker and his wife, Yiya, and Yiya's kind of the heart behind World Vasectomy Day this year. She really been running it. She's there as well, and they drove together, and you guys are amazing. I mean, honestly, without the two of you, it's just, you've been incredible partners. We're just so honored to have your passion.
I have to insist on that you just said. You know, none of this would have happened without her support. So that's a really important thing for me to highlight. So we're really excited, and hopefully more people will just come around and let us tell them the story behind the mobile clinic. And this is something that should be replicated. You know, I think we can replicate it, you know, in terms of reproductive services, not only for vasectomies, for other things as well. But in this particular case, you know, we can show that vasectomies can travel to places.
Excellent. Well, thanks so much. You know, we arranged on the phone to speak with a number of people, but before I did, I wanted to show you guys that, you know, all the conversations, the communications. I wanted to show you a slide from Mexico that indicates just kind of how the way World Vasectomy Day, when working with a partner as kind of extraordinary as the Centro Nacional, the Ministry of Health Program for Gender Equity. We've been building a vasectomy program there, and I want to show you the numbers since we started. So if we could put the slide up that was shared with me from Yolanda Varela from Mexico. But if you see here, this is just, there are multiple programs in, you know, that offer vasectomies, but this is just one of the 4 or 5 major institutions. So if you look here, the first time we ever talked about World Vasectomy Day was 2015. And that year, we started our first program. We went and we met the doctors, and it went up to 19,000. And then this next year, 2017, we hosted World Vasectomy Day in Mexico, and there was 23,000. So it had gone up 7,000. Then after we left, and this is the amazing part, because the whole point is that men become the best promoters and communicators of vasectomy, it went up to 28,000. And then the year before COVID, it was up to 32,000. So you could see it just starting growing, just becoming more, just larger and larger. And then last year, because of COVID, and a lot of the vasectomy programs had to be shut down to address the needs of COVID, it went down again. But this year, it's way up again. And this is 2021. This is before World Vasectomy Day. So they're expecting to go, they're probably going to go to 35 to 40,000 this year. So the ideas, it really does grow. The programs grow if you would, and not investing, you know, we invested a lot of ideas, a lot of energy, a lot of media, but the programs really run by the passion of the doctors like Esker and many others, and as well, the support of a ministry in this case who buys into the idea, not just because of getting men to get vasectomies, but also to get men to be engaged in conversation about gender equity. So you can get rid of the card. And I wanted to just start to highlight really briefly, if you could get rid of the slide, I'd appreciate it. I just wanted to talk to some of the people now. I'm going to speak first with Dr. Michelle Dubois, who's in Guatemala. And actually, you know, I wanted to talk to her a little bit about per program, because you were mentioning tubal ligations, the ratio of tubal ligation to vasectomy. And I think Dr. Dubois has some interesting statistics. I mean, Dr. Dubois, are you going to be speaking in Spanish or in English?
Whatever you prefer.
English would be easier because we have the translator. So, hi, Dr. Dubois. It's an honor to meet you again. We see you every year. We wish you could see you more often, but we would love if you could just briefly tell us about what your experience has been with vasectomy and the program you run, ALAS, and how it's changed since COVID.
So WINGS is an NGO, a nonprofit organization in Guatemala. We provide contraceptives throughout half of the country. For us, tubal ligations were our biggest effort and our biggest program for us. We perform about 2,050 tubal ligations every year. And before COVID, there were about 300 vasectomies every year, but COVID happened and it happened to all the world, right? And we were very, we needed to close everything for 3 months. So our government in Guatemala has been very restrictive and very, it had been awful here. So we were not able to move through the country and we couldn't provide services. So we start thinking, what can we do? The difference between men and women in tubal ligations and vasectomy, technical differences are that women need more time to recover. So we have to gather them and give them something to eat and let them recover for maybe 1 hour or 2 sometimes. And sometimes they have se desmayan, I don't know the word in English. They faint. But with men, it's different. So we do a vasectomy and they, thank you, goodbye, and they leave. So we were able to perform vasectomies and we were not able to do that tubal ligations. So we start thinking we have to do whatever we can do, but we have to provide services because more women are getting pregnant with unintended pregnancies. So we start, our focus was in vasectomies, and we started doing vasectomies. So we were expecting to do something about 200 vasectomies this year, and we're going to end the year with 1,000 vasectomies done. So finally, we can see the result of changing, even with us, that the way that we were thinking that tubal ligations were the more impact thing that we can do. No, vasectomies is way much a high impact procedure because we can avoid or prevent more pregnancies, and it has been awesome. The difference, maybe to tell you, tubal ligations, we only do it in hospitals and health centers where we have the ability to if we have any complication, we can treat it. With vasectomies, there's a little more open. Like the doctor was saying before, vasectomies are more easy. Not only the recovery of the patient, but we can do it in better places, not only in hospitals, but we can set up a clinic almost everywhere where we can perform the vasectomy, and that changed the way that we provide services.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much. I think it's incredible just watching how the programs are changing over time. And I think part of what you're saying also is that it changes the way we approach things too. That sometimes we assume that men are a certain way and they don't change. And I think you can see when the need was there, the opportunity grew, and now there's, you start to see the shift. But that's quite an incredible shift there. I have to say that's remarkable, which is why I love sharing the story, because it's not what people normally assume, and certainly not statistically what we usually find. But that's awesome. You guys are doing great work, and we love having you part of World Vasectomy Day events, and it's great to have you there. So thank you so much. I'm going to move on to Uganda. We're working there with 2 really fantastic young men who have been helping us build a program there. It's, every place has its own challenges, but we've been moving things along. We're working with with Antonio Turcat, who's the country manager for DKT in Uganda, and as well with with Ibrahim Nkonge, who's one of our partner, regional directors who's been helping us build the program there. And I'd love to hear from you, Antonio, about what some of the things you're doing and some of the challenges and ideas you have for expanding the program in Uganda, in Kampala.
Hey, thank you, Jonathan. Congratulations to all the World Vasectomy Day team and partners for this great initiative and for all what you have done so far. It's amazing that, congratulations to Edgar. I'm impressed with that mobile unit. Yes, well, first I want to say that it's the perfect timing to boost vasectomy campaigns in Uganda. Why? We have a lot of potential. The reality is that in Uganda, we have only 30% of modern contraceptive prevalence rate, but this is increasing. So over the past 20 years, it increased over 10 points. So it's good. There's a positive trend for contraceptive use. The fertility rate, today we are at 5.4 children. That's quite a high number for fertility as a fertility rate, but it's also going down. Uganda is in the top 10 of countries with the largest reduction in fertility rate. And it's important to mention that that's the fertility rate, but the 4.3 is the wanted fertility rate that we have in Uganda. That means that women are having in average one more children in their reproductive lives. It's also the perfect timing for vasectomy here, because 66% of the population is under 24 years. So we believe that it is easier to start conversations, the vasectomy conversations at an earlier stage, rather than when they have already plenty children. Also, it's important to mention that 64% of currently married women who are not users of contraceptive intend to have a family planning in the future, a family planning method in the future. So there's more people that wants to use contraceptive, and that today in Uganda, DKT, Reach a Hand, FHI 360, and MSU, we are working all to promote positively vasectomy. So that's important to mention. Then what we are doing as DKT, we're including vasectomy in our training program with healthcare providers. That's important that we have that conversation with the doctors, with all the healthcare providers that DKT is training currently. We include vasectomy. For you to know, the last demographic health survey indicates that only 0.05% of vasectomies as the method here in Uganda. So it's very low, is the ones that is recorded. So it's important to start that training with the healthcare providers. With medical students, we are also supporting World Vasectomy Day here, so they can include vasectomy as part of the curriculum. We are working with Reach a Hand to create awareness, and then we are connecting we are referring to Mary Stops in Uganda. So it's important to mention that DKT and Mary Stops, we are working together here to promote positively vasectomy. So that's what we are doing, and we need to work beyond this vasectomy week or month with the World Vasectomy team. We need to continue generating a database with the providers that offers vasectomy, so we can refer, because also at DKT we have a community outreach program, so we can add efforts with Reach a Hand, so we can refer men to the providers that World Vasectomy Day team they are recruiting, let's say it in that way. So that's a little bit of the context with the challenges that we have here in Uganda is the cultural barriers. It's similar that with all what we mentioned before, or all what the other speakers mentioned. Everything is valid. Yes, we continue having, it's difficult to talk about sex in Uganda. So if it is difficult to talk about sex, it's difficult to talk about family planning methods. And there's a conservative group in the country that is against of family planning in general. So that's also affecting us. And the family planning responsibility continue only relying on women. So it's difficult in this kind of context where the husband relies only that the wife will use the method. In the case where the husband is happy or comfortable with the wife using methods, because in some cases the husband will not even allow the wife to use a contraceptive method. So those are the challenges that we have, and we try to develop some family planning campaigns in Uganda, but we have some limitations. It's not that easy to use mass media to promote family planning. We have to propose to certain authorities here. So that is also one of the challenges for us to promote family planning. So thank you, Jonathan, and Ibrahim, please join the conversation.
Yeah, I just wanted to, I just got a note. Yeah, I just wanted to say that, thank you so much. Yeah, Antonio came from, he was working in Liberia last year. So he did it's really wonderful to see you, moving and growing as just getting more committed to this work. And we're really thankful to have you here. And I know we've been really fortunate. This year, we got a nice grant from the Bergstrom Foundation to hire some regional coordinators to bring our program together. And I wanted to briefly introduce Ibrahim Nkonge, who's been putting this together for us and doing a fantastic job putting together an interesting program. Ibrahim, I know you're there. If you could just briefly talk a little bit about what you're doing this month and what you're trying to accomplish. Because we have the idea maybe of creating a World Vasectomy clinic, or at least a center to really address that, something ongoing and permanent. But Ibrahim, jump right in.
Thank you very much, Jonathan, and thank you, Antonio. You've almost mentioned everything. Ibrahim is my name, Nkonge, as Jonathan has introduced me. I am the regional coordinator for Vasectomy Day. Well, basically what we're doing right now in Uganda, to add on what Antonio is saying, is we are trying to increase positive masculinity. We are trying to make sure that men out there understand that the role of family planning is not just for women, but also entirely dependent on the decisions that both the couple members make. But also we are trying to take the vasectomy conversation to the men out there in their communities. We are going to talk to men from their workplaces, from their homes, through the outreach program we are doing with DKT, Richard Uganda. And when we get men that need the vasectomies, we are working with Marriage Stop Uganda to transfer them there. One of the things that has been a barrier, just to add on what Antonio is saying, is that in Uganda, there is a strong belief that a man's prestige or pride is dependent on the number of children they have. Many men believe that if they have more children, then they are more prestigious in their communities. But we've been able to break down this conversation to bring it to relate to their even day-to-day life. The number of children vis-a-vis your income status, the number of children vis-a-vis the good life you should be giving them. Are you willing to pay for all of them school fees? Are you willing to give them the medical attention they need? And we've realized that men have actually now come to think about it. That, hey, I think I need to think about the number of children I'm having. I think I need to think about the side effects my woman goes through with the family planning they're doing. So it is a slow different partners. There is quite a lot we shall achieve the time that comes, but also we are trying to demystify the myths around vasectomies. Some men thought to be castrated. So we're trying to make sure that everyone understands how vasectomies work, but also that men understand that they have a huge role to play in the well-being of their families, but also in planning for them. Yeah, that is it in a nutshell.
Excellent. Excellent. And I want to just briefly acknowledge the fact that one of the conversations you and I had early on, Ibrahim, was about getting medical students involved. You know, that we were thinking, you know, where's a good entry point to reach people who you want to influence. And you know that, you know, doctors are trusted in their community if they're doing a good job and if they're educated. And so we thought, what if we start to bring medical students involved in the conversation around vasectomy early in their careers? So I wanted to just thank Dr. Kiza Blair, who's just finishing his medical school. Now he's a full-fledged doctor, and asked a question earlier, and he brought together a bunch of medical students from Uganda and to participate today. And I think it's fantastic to have you all here from all your students. And Dr. Kiza, if you want to just say really briefly, just introduce yourself so everybody knows you as the person who did this great mobilizing of students.
Thank you so much. I apologize in advance. My video is not on. Where I am, the lighting is not all that good. But all in all, thank you so much. I'm very grateful, and I'm very happy to be here. By the name Dr. Kiza Blair. I finished yesterday, so I can now gladly say I'm Dr. Kiza Blair. And thank you so much. I've always been passionate about sexual reproductive health, and when I learned about male engagement in contraception and then the whole family planning concept, I was really excited, and I'm humbled to see that conversations about vasectomy are pushed to much larger and larger platforms, especially here down in Africa. Excellent. I'm very happy. Let me just say a few words. Thank you.
Excellent. Well, we really appreciate your presence and participation and all the students as well. I wanted to, we're going to switch to Spanish really quickly. So if you could do that, go down to the bottom, switch rooms. So if you're in the main room, go over to the interpretation room, which you can find at the bottom of your screen. It says interpretation. Si estás en la sala de español, vuelve al grupo el principal y ahí va a ser porque la próxima persona va a hablar en español. So if you make that little switch now, it'll just be for a few minutes, but it's important so you can understand. Because the person I'm going to introduce to you now, her name is Dr. Luisa Gonzalez. We've been working with Dr. Gonzalez for the last few years. She's come to our seminar that we held in Colorado. She has accompanied us when we went to Ecuador, does training with us, and she is unbelievably passionate about vasectomy. She's opened up a clinic, which is the first World Vasectomy. It's not World Vasectomy Day, it's World Vasectomy Clinic, but she's opening up a clinic in Mexico City. Last year, during COVID, she herself did, if you can believe it, 2,700 vasectomies in 1 year herself, 2,700. So I'd like to introduce you to Luisa Gonzalez from Mexico, who's been doing a fantastic job for us. Luisa, please speak. Habla español, yo sé.
Hola, ¿cómo están todos? Buenos días. Yo soy Luisa González. Bueno, la vasectomía aquí en México que estamos realizando, pues que estoy realizando, tú sabes, Jonathan, que en México, afortunadamente, la vasectomía se da en toda la República Mexicana, gratuito. En México, pues hay vasectomistas en todas las entidades federativas. Afortunadamente en México se presta ese servicio, creo que es uno de los únicos países que se presta.
Few countries that provides the service that is free is within the
de los servicios de salud en toda la República Mexicana, por lo cual yo creo que México ha aprendido muchísimo en estos tiempos. En México desde hace 22 años se realiza la vasectomía de forma gratuita. Se ha impulsado cada vez más en el 2016 y el 2017, cuando fue sede de World Vasectomy Day, se empezaron a realizar muchísimas más vasectomías de lo que habitualmente se realizaba. Sin embargo, cabe mencionar que la vasectomía ya lleva más de 22 años aquí en México. En México tengo muchísimos compañeros entusiastas en toda la Ciudad de México. En este mismo momento, todos mis compañeros de todas las entidades de la República Mexicana están trabajando para el Día Mundial de la Vasectomía. Están trabajando Oaxaca, Guanajuato, Baja California, todas las 32 entidades federativas en México. También en México, pues estamos realizando vasectomías en nuestras unidades de salud. También yo trabajo también con la ONG, también con DKT, también trabajo en World Vasectomy Clinic, que estamos abriendo ya en compañía de World Vasectomy Day, que es una nueva plataforma para un servicio más que se le pueda otorgar a los mexicanos. Entonces, yo realizo vasectomías todos los días en 3 distintas clínicas, la cual me siento sumamente orgullosa de realizar vasectomías en 3 clínicas distintas, y también que todos los mexicanos cada día son más responsables en México. Sin embargo, cabe mencionar que aún nos falta muchísimo. Yo creo que en México solamente tenemos un 8% que se aumentó, yo creo, en los 3 últimos años, en el aumento de la vasectomía contra la ligadura de trompas. La ligadura de trompas sigue siendo como la mayor planificación familiar que prefieren en México. Estamos trabajando para que esto cambie, para que la vasectomía, como en otros países como Canadá, sea el primer método de planificación familiar, en la cual todos los hombres tengan en cuenta, además que tiene muchísimas ventajas, como todos ya lo sabemos, en cuanto a la efectividad. Es sumamente efectivo, es de muchísimo menos invasión, es rápido, es sencillo, es indolor, en contra, por ejemplo, de una ligadura de trompas que conlleva muchos factores. Yo estoy en favor de que la vasectomía se siga promocionando en todo el mundo para que cada día más hombres responsables se sumen a esta labor que se hace y que tenemos en todo México y en todo el mundo, gracias a World Vasectomy Day, que hacen que la promoción para que más entidades y más naciones y más países se enteren que hay un método de planificación familiar para los varones, y que se sabe y que cada vez se vayan todos los estigmas de este procedimiento, que cada vez se conozca más, que todos los hombres se enteren que no tienen efectos colaterales en cuanto a toda la salud sexual. Entonces, que esto llegue cada vez a más rincones de todo el mundo. En México, afortunadamente, cada vez hay más hombres que se están realizando la vasectomía. Tuvimos un poco de problemas, digamos, con la pandemia, pero no creo que solo en México, en todo el mundo. Tuvimos un rezago de lo que ya estábamos haciendo. En el 2019 tuvimos muchísimas vasectomías. En el 2020 decayó un poquito por la pandemia, sin embargo, volvemos a retomar todo. México está realizando muchísimas vasectomías. Cada año es más. Seguramente en el 2021 tendremos muchísimas más vasectomías que tengamos que hacer año con año. Vamos a superar los números, yo lo sé. Yo estoy confiada de todos mis compañeros en México, de todas las autoridades, de todos los que trabajan en planificación familiar para que esto cada día crezca más. También quiero mencionar que en México cada vez más hay hombres o jóvenes sin hijos que se están realizando la vasectomía. En este año, en el 2020, tuve más de un 50% ya de jóvenes sin hijos a jóvenes con hijos, ¿no? Estamos hablando que cada vez un gran número de hombres o muy jóvenes que a partir de tener aquí la mayoría de edad ya se pueden realizar la vasectomía. Entonces, cada vez está creciendo muchísimo más la responsabilidad de los hombres en creer que ellos deben de ser partícipes de la planificación familiar, con o sin pareja, porque cabe mencionar que hay hombres que llegan a realizarse la vasectomía, que aún no tienen una pareja formal, sin embargo, no quieren tener hijos. Entonces, nosotros debemos de seguir impulsando para que cada vez más haya muchos más hombres responsables. Quiero contarles también un poco de lo que estamos realizando en World Vasectomy Clinic. En World Vasectomy Clinic estamos trabajando también para que cada día otro hombre de otro sector en México llegue con nosotros y se realice una vasectomía. Afortunadamente, la vasectomía en México está en todos los rubros de los estatus, tanto económicos y sociales para todos. Está al alcance de todos. Entonces, yo estoy muy orgullosa de lo que hemos realizado en México, de lo que todos mis compañeros han hecho y que seguiremos trabajando para que México y en todo el mundo siga creciendo la vasectomía. Nosotros somos un sector en el cual hemos agarrado y nos hemos cobijado por World Vasectomy Day, por lo cual también agradezco mucho a World Vasectomy Day que nos cobije no solamente a mí, sino a todos los mexicanos.
Ok, muy bien. Muchas gracias, Luisa. Siempre un placer y yo sé que vamos a estar viendo a ti durante el 24 horas. Hay un evento
Así es.
que comienza el jueves a hora 5 en Nueva York y continúa por 24 horas. So it's going to be a 24-hour event and it lasts, it's going to be for everybody to participate. I wanted to also say that we should switch back the rooms now. You could switch back. And thank you so much, Luisa, for that. And
thank you.
So we're going to reverse the language back to the Spanish. The next person will be speaking in English. We just recently, I mentioned we had, before I go, I just do want to acknowledge two people in Mexico. I wish I gave them time, but we don't have time. It's Jose Antonio Castro, who is the lead trainer for the Ministry of Health and is a great friend of World Vasectomy Day and the reason we are there and so strong. So thank you, Jose Antonio. And of course, Mariana Castro, who is playing an incredible role for World Vasectomy Day as our regional coordinator there. And I just wanted to thank them for all the great work they did this year as well. But we're moving on to Bolivia. And I wanted to say that over the years, I developed a really close friendship with a man named John Gilbo, Dr. Gilbo, who's a vasectomy doctor in England. We talked, he came and he gave us some financial support early on, and he really got caught up with our work. And we came up with this idea to develop a fund, a small fund that we would give every year to a program, a vasectomy program or an organization that's really promoting vasectomy, just to acknowledge their incredible work and advances. And there's so many. And every year we try to find one that we think really needs the support and also deserves the support. So this year, we found ourselves in Bolivia, working with Mari Stopes Bolivia, and an incredible team of people. And so we're really honored this year. And I wanted to show a video, and then Dr. Michelle Lebrecht, who led the mission to Bolivia, was just completed a week ago, and he'll say some words, and then we'll hear from the organization's director, Ana Cecilia Velázquez. So if you could show the video, and we start from there. At a time when entire vasectomy programs were being closed down because of COVID, one organization, MSI Bolivia, rose up to meet the challenge. They've grown from less than 60 procedures in 2019 to 232 in 2020, to over 600 men signed up to get a vasectomy in November alone. They invited WVD doctors Michelle Lebrecht and John Currington to lead a week-long training program. They ran an extensive social media campaign, hosted an expert panel, and opened their doors to other Bolivian family planning organizations. Guided by a rights-driven philosophy that promotes children by choice, while guaranteeing that men and women can choose the family planning method that works for them, they serve as inspiration to others the world over. The Elliott Smith Award for an emerging vasectomy program goes to MSI Bolivia. Michelle, it's your turn.
Yeah, thank you, Jonathan. Actually, I would like to have my my colleagues who came with me, John Currington and Allison Hoover. John and Allison, are you there?
I'm here. Hi.
Yeah, hi, Allison. John?
Also here.
Yeah, very good. So thank you to being here. Actually, it's you will probably say exactly the same word that I'm going to say, and even more, that we had a wonderful experience in Bolivia. When we started to talk about Bolivia, I wasn't sure. You know, we haven't been traveling for at least a year and a half, and I didn't know if it would be working or not. But the team over there was so keen to organize everything, so well organized, and at all the level, you know, at the level of media, at the level of medical communication, everybody, even I was saying all the nurses who were helping us with the sterilization, all the local, how they were arranged. It was I would say, one of the best training mission I had. And I can say I did a couple in my life. So really, I know Ana Cecilia is there and probably many more from Bolivia, but it's really an honor and so much a pleasure for the three of us to give you this award. You really deserve it 100%.
We can say that this was a fantastic teaching mission and especially successful because of all the preparation in the background. We could tell from the first meetings to when we walked in to how organized and clean and just everything was 100% fantastic. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'll just add that it was a true privilege and pleasure getting to know so much of the team. Thank you for inviting us to be part of it. It is such, it's so comforting really to know that we were able to be part of your expedited path to success. It is so clear that you have everything in place to grow and build and expand your program. The ways you were record setting with your call center, just announcing this campaign, the number of people that came, the number you have scheduled going forward. It is so clear that you are meeting a critical need in Bolivia, that there is immense demand for what you're doing and that you are so well set up to meet that demand. And any small role we may have played in facilitating that is our pleasure. And we are so excited to see the ways in which you grow from here.
Congratulations again. Ana Cecilia, are you here with us?
Yes, I'm here. And a lot of the team members are there too. I don't know if you can see Claudia and Maciel are wearing the t-shirts from the campaign. And well, thank you. It's truly an honor on behalf of MSI Bolivia to receive the Elliott Smith Award. And believe me, we're gonna put it to good use. We're gonna use it to keep on promoting vasectomies and to give access to free vasectomies. Like you said, Michelle, John, Allison, this was truly a team effort. I think you were able to see it from our marketing department, contact center, supply chain, logistics, obviously our clinical department. The entire organization came together to make this training a success. So I want to thank each and every one over the members of MSI that have participated in making this a success. Also, I want to congratulate our trainees. I know the majority are there. Some are actually doing vasectomies right now. I cannot join because we haven't stopped since you left. So there's Masi and Claudia. I want to thank them for their commitment. Belen, I think it's also somewhere there. I really want to thank you because we now have 4 general practitioners that provide vasectomies. And what this will do is that this would allow us to train others to give access in rural areas and provide vasectomies in our mobile units. And this will also allow us to decrease our cost in our clinics because we have to use urologists right now. So with this, the impact that this effort will provide to Bolivia is gigantic. So I'm really honored. I want to thank Jonathan and the entire team at World Vasectomy Day as well. John, Michelle, Alison, you know, you really left a mark here in Bolivia. I think I will speak on behalf of the team and everybody that worked with you, that they were truly inspired by your technique, your way of teaching. Here, when people teach medicine, they're very hierarchical. When they put you down is better because you have to learn by a hard hand. And I think what the team truly recognizes is that the way of teaching, your way of teaching, can be so much more effective and inclusive. And the team really talked volumes about you all and Alison for the support. With Alison, I must say, we will do an investigation, a research study. So our work with Alison hasn't ended yet. So I don't want to go on and on. I just want to thank you all, and really thank the entire team for all this effort. And we are, you know, we won't stop. It looks like we won't stop until December. So
That's good.
Amazing, amazing. Well, I just wanted to say that
Hola,
first of all,
Masi.
there's one of the trainees. We're just running a little late, but I just wanted to point out, just to acknowledge John and Michelle and Allison, because you guys are amazing, really. The amount of passion and love and expertise you bring to the work is so incredible. It's really the heart of World Vasectomy Day is the doctors and the training. You know, that's really where the truth all comes forward. And you guys are incredible. And now the research behind it. And I don't know if there's anybody out there who's interested in training and increasing their success, but you should reach out to us, because, you know, and reach out to Ana Cecilia, because maybe she'll give you some good tips on how to prepare. And part of that was new models that Michelle and John have both developed for actually doing training. So we've got a lot of exciting ideas in the horizon to expand the program in terms of training. So that's fantastic. I wish I could go on and on and on, but I know I'm running a little bit late. So I just want to say thank you for everything you're doing, and just keep going with the program and keep up. I know I think you had 600 people signed up. So I guess you got a lot of vasectomies to do. And by the time they're done, you'll be experts, as not quite at the level of John and Michelle, but you'll be on your way there. Thank you so much.